Okay, so to get into tree pose, and in yoga, not yoga, but skating, as I'm learning, there's a lot of talk of shifting our weight. Shifting to the left, shifting to the right, inner edge, outer edge. Balancing pose is great because it's going to give you that connection to your feet. Possibly, we don't, for the most part, maybe think about our feet. We don't take the moment, we don't really take the time to realize, even when we're standing, oh, I lean more to my outer edge, or I stand right on the center of my feet, or maybe I kind of rock to the inner edge a little bit when I'm standing or you're standing, right? So balancing poses are great because they start to teach us that. They start to teach us how are we holding our body, okay? And it's going to be great for skating because you're going to have that connection to, there's my outer edge. And if that's what you want your body to do, you're going to have that control, right? To go to your outer edges, inner edges, or dead center of the feet, okay? Okay, so tree pose. We want to stand with the feet hip distance. All right, so when I say hip distance, I want you to think of your hip bones, okay? And you're going to align knee, ankle right underneath that hip bone. Toes spread wide. Go ahead and take a look down at your feet. Okay, toes pointing forward and spreading wide. Go ahead and relax them. And then one more time, lift up your toes, spread them as wide as they'll go. You might find your hands start to do the same thing if you're not used to this movement. Totally okay. And then as you're keeping the toes spreading, go ahead and release them down. All right, shift your weight over to the left leg. Now, before we do anything else, you want an engaged core. Shoulders square, chin parallel to the floor, looking forward. Okay, so you can start to, again, you're creating these deeper connections with your body and paying attention to where your body is in space. Okay. All right, so once you're feeling stable on that left leg, your right leg, you're going to bend the knee. Option 1, we're going to bring the right foot to that inner left ankle, and we're just going to let the toes rest on the ground. So if you're feeling a little unstable, this is a great first or beginning place to come to, because with your toes resting on the floor or the mat or the ground, it gives you a little bit more stability. You can place your hands on the hips. If you need them out for a little bit more support, you can raise them overhead. And if you're holding your breath, take a moment to notice that and then see if you can breathe. Sometimes when we're learning something new, we tighten up, we hold our breath. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just something to be aware of, that, holding my breath, so let me see if I can hold the pose and relax. And then release that. Come back to hip distance. Gonna shake it out. Okay. Now, lift the toes of your right foot, spread them as wide as they'll go, and keep them spreading as much as you can, and release the toes down. Shift the weight over to the right leg. Again, engaged core, shoulders square, chin parallel, looking forward. Helps to find a spot to stare at, a non-moving focal point, okay? Once you're stable in that right leg, left leg, we're going to bend the knee. Place your foot to the inner right ankle, those toes, left toes resting on the floor. If you feel like you're just kind of dropping down into your hips, maybe you want to engage your core more, and think of a string of pearls, and you're just lengthening up your spine. Okay. Again, your hands can be on the hips. They can be out to the side for more stability, or overhead. Whatever works for you. Breathing here. And if you feel your ankle There's a lot of you feel a lot of tiny little movements happening. That's good. So you're working on building that strength. Okay, and release that. So I'm only going to show you on one side, but I'm going to give you the options for kind of moving into different variations of tree pose. So option 1, started here. It's a great place to start. If you feel you want to move a step further, can't think of the word I'm trying to think of right now. I hate it when I blank out like that. Where are you going to go? We'll say option 2. All right. So you're going to raise the foot up just a little bit more, maybe resting on the side of the leg on the calf. And this is a great place to start to notice, you're going to maybe feel your ankle a little wobbly, some movement in the feet. It's an opportunity to recognize, am I leaning towards the outer edge, inner? Just working on finding that center in the foot. Okay. And option 3, if you like, you don't have to. You bring the right foot to the inner thigh. If I can. And if you fall out of the pose, just smile, come back to center. All right. So you can see this one's a little wobbly for me. And instead of fighting the pose just because I want to be in this other or this variation, I'm going to look for where I can be in the pose and hold my balance and be at ease with it. Okay. So there's your variations. And one other tip I'll give you is if you're feeling really unstable, even in this variation, which sometimes if you've never done any balancing before, you might feel even a bit unstable here. So the wall is a great support because you can use it as a touchstone. Okay, I just kind of tap my fingers to the wall. It's right there. Same awareness. Start with the feet, toes spread. Shift the weight to the standing leg. Engaged core. Squared the shoulders, chin parallel, looking forward. When I'm ready, then I'll bring my foot, or I'll bring that opposite leg into the variation that I want to work with. And then you have the wall there. And as you feel, it's right there to catch you. Just a little touchstone. Okay? And that's tree pose. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you for the next one.